Alright, YouTube. Today we have...
Stephen Bates, and I played Tengu Plants.
What was your final record?
It was X and 3, so lost it the top 32. So
24th?
Got 24th, yeah.
Okay, let's see this.
Alright, so we got 3 Reborn Tengu, obviously.
Okay.
No explanation really needed there. It's
Obviously.
just a floater. 3 Raikou. Honestly considered going down to 2 of this guy today. He was pretty terrible just about all day. I know every single game I sided out 1. I mean, it was just auto sides. I don't like auto sides, so that means my main deck was just not where it needed to be. Definitely would drop 1 of that. Double Caius. Thought about going to 3 of that guy after today. I think 2 is just absolutely magnificent. We got double Lone Fire, obviously. Double Debris Dragon.
Derp, derp.
Derp, derp. Only 2 Chaos Sorcerer. Main reasoning behind that was I expected a shitload of Gravekeepers today. And I feel like I'm kind of going crazy with Reborn Tengu at this point. Chaos Sorcerer at 3 is just kind of redundant. I think that was the correct call. Probably would not have gone to 3. So.
Gotcha.
2 Card Trooper. Herp derp.
Derp, derp.
2 Effect Veiler. This card was actually 50-50 on me today. And yesterday, I guess. Wanted to go to 3, expected a lot of fish. Did not see a single fish deck here today.
I know, I'm surprised about that
No
too.
fish at all. So 2 is probably the number there. Mystic Tomato. I played that over Titanial. Need that to be able to go and get into the dark monsters for Chaos Sorcerer, obviously. Go gets the Singin', which can get me into the Plague Spreader as well. And with Reborn Tengu plays, it's just pretty ridiculous. So, which brings me to Plague Spreader Zombie. Obvious. Glow Up Bulb. Spore. Dandelion.
Yay!
Standard.
The plants.
And 1 Sengun.
Good guy.
Yeah. So, shitload of floaters. You can really play conservative with this deck, and you don't lose out because of it. You just swing, and you really don't care what they have.
Setting Rankles all day.
Now, previous versions of this deck I've played with, I have top-cutted multiple regionals with. I played 2 Pot of Avarice, 2 Pot of Duality. Now, because of the addition of Reborn Tengu, Duality is just not feasible. So, went up to 3 Pot of Avarice just to capitalize on the Reborn Tengu. Double MST.
Standard.
Lose to Gravekeepers if you don't play them. Giant Tornado. This card's really, really crazy with Call of the Haunted and Limit Reverses. You will always have those on the board when you Synchro Summon with the guys you bring back. This gets you infinite pluses.
That's fucking scary. What?
Book of Moon.
Needs to be
obvious.
at 2.
Probably needs to be at 2. I agree. But yeah, you know what it's there for. Dark Hole. After this event, it is officially out of the deck for good. I kid you not. Main reasoning on that, and the reason I played it today was obviously with all of the floaters. I kind of expected, hey, I'm gonna Dark Hole, I'm gonna have a floater left, they're gonna have nothing, and I'm gonna beat their face off. Problem is, just never really worked out like that. Usually when you summon Reborn Tengu, you kind of got to do it on first or second turn. They're gonna beat through this guy. You're gonna have 1 left. Happens pretty often. The Dark Hole there is extremely subpar. You do commit, when you get Synchros committed to the field, this card is trash. Happened a bunch today. I had a Shooting Star Dragon. I'm sitting here with Dark Hole the entire game, and it's worthless. When you get Shooting Star out, you never attack with it. You can't do that. You can't risk deep prisons. You can't do stuff like that. So you sit there and you just brick wall them, negating their attacks, stopping their destroying effects with Shooting Star, and you beat them with other stuff.
Gotcha.
Dark Hole is just extremely subpar in most of those situations. Against Samurai, obviously, you got to make them negate a card before Dark Hole is even anything against them. And the problem is, the only real card that they're going to negate in my deck is Book of Moon, or Pot of Avarice. I don't want them to negate my Pot of Avarice. So, you know, this never goes off against Samurai. So it's a dead card in that matchup, generally.
So what would you change?
Normally, originally I had Return from a Different Dimension in the main deck instead of this. I made that change back to this just because I felt bad for not playing Dark Hole. Today has definitely reinforced the fact that that is not good in my main deck. However, I don't know that I like Return in the main deck either, so I'm not really sure where I'm going to go with that slide.
All right, let's see the rest of this.
All right, so got 1 for 1, obviously. Reborn, Burial. That's all the spells.
Here come the good cards.
Solemn Judgment. 2 Solemn Warning.
Surprise.
2 in reverse, and Call it the Haunted. That's it. That's the main deck. So
extra inside.
pretty solid. Now, extra deck. 1 Shooting Star Dragon, signed by the voice of Yusei. That guy won me lots of games today. Trishula, I summoned him 0 times today.
0.
0 times. Not really sure what to do with that slot. I think you have to have him, but he was pretty terrible all day. Maybe I just got unlucky. 2 Stardust Dragon, required. People who go 1 of that lose, so can't do that. Scrap Dragon, I almost wish that guy was at 2 in my extra deck. Ancient Fairy Dragon, very clutch versus Gravekeepers, Dragoonides, other random bad shit with fusion, or with field spells. And it's a light monster, so it's pretty cool. Arcanite Magician, obviously, for Chaos Sorcerer, 1-star tuner, going to Arcanite after you removed with the Chaos Sorcerer. Infinite Plus is there. Black Rose, I only play 1 of that guy, and it was perfect all day, so don't really need 2 of that guy. Iron Chain, obviously just need that. 6 stars are kind of bad right now. Got that guy and Brionic. Brionic was pretty subpar, but you know, you gotta play him. Never really had enough cards to make him good. Magical Android. My 5 stars are what's interesting. I've got a light and a dark there with Reborn Tengus and the 1-star tuners. You can go into the 5 stars, and that's an instant Chaos Sorcerer right there. You gain your life at the end, and you can still kind of go into 6 stars, and Plague Spreader gets you into those 7 stars. So Armory Arm, and also 2 Formula Synchrons. So that's the extra deck. Could tweak that a little bit. Now the side deck.
Yay.
Double DD Crow.
Wins games, right?
Not really. Card was only good in the plant matchup. Everything else, obviously it's great against fish. I didn't see that today. So
Yeah, I don't think anybody did.
I'm sure it would have been fantastic against that deck.
Maybe for this one.
Unfortunately, it was not today. Double Cyber Dragon.
Good or bad?
Very good. Obviously, you need it to beat. You don't need it to beat gadgets, but it's just really nice against any machine type prep. It comes in for the effect veilers against Gravekeepers, so you still have the same amount of light monsters, and you can just summon, 2100 beat stick and just get over their shit. Same thing with King Tiger Wangu. That card just rolls my deck, so I want to be able to run that guy over. 1 Return from a Different Dimension. That card came in every game. People are definitely bringing in some remove from game stuff. DD Crows, Chain Disappearance, Dimension Fissure, Dimension Prisons, you name it. So that card's really good. Double Closed Forest against Gravekeepers, against Dragoonides. Again, with the Ancient Fairy Dragon, blow up their Necro Valley, gain 1,000, search your deck for Closed Forest, and proceed to kick their ass. So,
That's so fucking awesome.
pretty amazing. Now, you've got Double Malevolent Catastrophe. I never drew this card today, even though I cited it in a ton of matchups. Basically, against Gravekeepers, they bring in their continuous trap Gozen Match, and maybe even Rivalry of Warlords. This lets you outplay them because most people do not include this in cards they have to play around. So you will absolutely roll them with this card if it goes off. Also, absolutely fantastic against any sort of stun variant type stuff, gadgets, and Gladiator Beasts. Double Chain Disappearance.
Good or bad?
Mediocre. I didn't really draw it. I drew it once and it was okay. Obviously, it's good against plants. It's good against fish if they don't have the enemy controller to chain whenever you activate it. So, take that how you will. These could possibly change. One Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon.
Obviously.
For the Cyber Dragons, obviously. I definitely won a match simply because I had that in my extra deck, or my side deck. So, the third Veiler, that did not have a place. I always thought that I was going to have to bring them in against fish. I was obviously a little bit scared of fish today, and not rightly so. So, I had a hard time justifying taking a card out of my main deck for this today. The Smashing Ground, I think you need that against Glad Beasts.
Obviously.
And some other random stuff, like the Stun, you're going to be able to Smashing Ground there, Thunder Kings and other stuff. It's just nice removal, nice to have one of. And one Kinetic Soldier.
Good card?
It was. I actually beat an X-Saber deck that I decided to side that against. You set it, and they think it's a Raikou. They go into it with Fall and they lose their S. So then you flip him up, you make him negate that attack, and then run it over, and they're kind of in a downhill spiral from there. Obviously, for Samurai, he also won me my matchup against Samurai. Kinetic Soldier's just really good for that. So that was the side. So.
All right, thank you, sir.
No problem.